Okay, welcome to the CMFNH Program Orientation. CMFNH is the California Multifamily New Homes program from PG&E. Today we will begin by talking about what is new with the 2016 program and how to apply. This is geared towards the general public, developers, architects, energy consultants, and raters. This is a great webinar for someone who is looking to learn more about the program. Our focus today won't be technical so much as program operations and how to participate. If you do have a technical question, you are welcome to enter it into the questions bar, but we may hold it and follow up with you after the presentation. We are excited to hear all of your questions, so please enter them on the questions bar on the side of the panel, and we will pause periodically to take them. We will be recording this presentation and sending the slide deck and recording to all registered attendees. Next slide, please. My name is Allison Whitwer, and I am on the CMFNH program team. My colleagues and I work for a company called TRC Energy Services, and we implement the program on behalf of PG&E. Any inquiries or correspondences with the program will be with us, but PG&E is the source of the incentives and the vision behind the program. Next slide, please. A quick overview of the webinar today. Scott Blunk will go over how the program works, what the incentives are like, introduce new items to the program in 2016, and review the process for how to apply. Before I hand it over, we have a quick poll to see who is on today. If you can respond real quick, we'll take a few moments so you can make your selection. All right, just a couple more seconds. Okay, so it looks like we have 27% of the people are developers. We have 53% energy consultants, 7% HERS rater, no one on the call is an architect, and 13% utility representatives. So Scott Blunk is our presenter today. He is the California Multifamily New Homes Program Manager. He has a background as a building science trainer and will be going through the nuances of the program. I'll hand it over to you, Scott.
Thank you very much. Yes, sorry. For the program today, or for today's webinar, we're going to review the program, kind of talk about what's new for 2016, and then go through the enrollment process for CMFNH. So the program overview, the goals, the eligibility, and the incentives. The goal of the program, it's a public service program that offers cash incentives, design assistance, educational opportunities, and program coordination. And the goal is to increase energy efficiency, right? This is a program that's leading the market towards Z&E. We all know the code is going to Z&E, and there's another code change coming very soon. Well, the program is basically trying to get and help develop the industry to get there as smooth as possible in a smaller incremental step. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But basically, the program, you know, we act as we facilitate energy savings and give that to PG&E. In exchange, PG&E helps offset the cost of that energy savings to the consultants and the raters. So that's the whole point of the program, is just to facilitate energy savings and get us to Z&E in a smooth way. Eligible customers, you've got to have a PG&E utility service, either gas or electric. So that means if you're like in SMUD territory and have SMUD electric, you can still participate in the program and get the PG&E incentive for the gas piece of it, or any other municipal utility district is also available. But you have to be in the PG&E territory that's shown on the map there. It is a multifamily. CMFNH is California Multifamily New Homes, so it's got to be a multifamily property. It has to be new construction. If you have an existing building or existing project, we also run the called MUP, the Multifamily Upgrade Program for existing multifamily properties, and we'd be happy to work with you on your existing buildings as well that we're running for PG&E and other parts of the state as well. But this is a new construction program. It's for apartments and condos. Duplexes, townhomes are not allowed in this program. They can go through CAP, which is the single family program that we also run and manage for PG&E. So we can do it that way as well. So we have a program for you no matter what you're building, almost. The point of the program, or the entry point of the program, is you have to exceed the 2013 Title 24 standards by at least 15%, or have a CMFNH score of less than 84. So the CMFNH score is just indicative of the energy savings. Those two are approximately equivalent, but we allow either one of those. And you have to be able to complete construction and verification of that construction by the end of 2019. Got a little time. So the incentives for the developer, these are what's listed on the screen is all the incentives that go to the developer. So there's for the performance of the buildings and to help influence the design, it's anywhere from $75 to $1,000 per unit. It depends on how much energy savings you're able to get out of the building. That is the starting point, and it goes up from there to up to 1,000 CAP. And then also for common areas, which is new this year, there is a performance incentive of 15 cents per kilowatt hour or $1 per therm in savings. That matches the commercial savings by design program. So for common spaces, if you're designing efficient spaces in the common areas, we can also get you some incentive money for that. Also new for this year is there's a kicker, a $5,000 bonus for having a design charrette and including us in that. The point of any design charrette is to get the appropriate parties around one table or one phone, if it should be, and discuss the energy efficient goals of the project, and so that everyone's kind of on the same page. So to help, and it's well recognized in industry that it's a big advantage to have that meeting up front and early on, and to encourage that, we're able to offer $5,000 to the developer per project that we can sit down and have that design charrette with the team, or be included in the design charrette with the team. Yeah, big advantage. And then also to the developer, there is a money going to help offset the cost of hiring a HERS rater, and that's $60 per unit up to $12,000 maximum per project. So that just goes to, it shouldn't be the full cost, but it goes to help offset that cost. And then to the energy consultant themselves, again, to help offset the cost, it shouldn't be the full cost, but it help offset it. They will get $50 per unit up to $10,000. So that's basically, it caps out at 200 units, right? So at a 200 unit complex, you're gonna max out at the $10,000. If you have properties larger than 200 units that are being built in phases, we can phase it out that way and come under the cap. And then also there's an incentive for the common spaces. So that's $100 per unique common space, up to and allowing up to 5 different common spaces. So unique common spaces is, if it's 5 stories, you're not going to have 5 corridors, if at least if they're all the same for sure. Like corridors are going to be lumped together as one unique common space. But just an example of some of the common spaces that incentives can be taken from. All right, and so now we can pause for some questions. If there's anyone, if you can type in questions, and Allison will handle those and get them to us.
While we're waiting, maybe there are some folks on the call who have participated in the program before, but not recently. The Design Charrette incentive that you mentioned, Scott, is new this year. What should someone do if they would like to set up a Design Charrette meeting with CMFNH?
Well, they can contact anyone at CMFNH, and the easiest way will be at the end, but it's info@cmfnh.org. And that's, so you can email in that you would like to set up a Design Charrette, and someone will get back to you and help set that up. But basically, you know, it's just scheduling a meeting like any other meeting with your design team, and we're just include us as part of that design team. We don't need to lead the meeting, we don't need to run the meeting, but we just want to participate. So for that participation, we'll trade you for some money.
Okay. We actually have another question. Are community rooms and management offices considered unique common spaces?
Community room and management offices considered unique common spaces. We'd have to look at it, I guess, when the project comes in, or we can talk about it ahead of time and just see. But it kind of depends on the configuration and location of each of those.
Okay. Looks like those are all the questions for now. So if you want to continue, we can catch any ones that come in at the next pausing point.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And we just kind of covered some of this, but new for 2016, incentives for common spaces, Design Charrette incentive, and the online listing for energy consultants and HERS raters. So touching on those again, so energy models that come in for the projects must now include common spaces, and that's only the common spaces associated with tenants. So if there is a Starbucks on the first floor or something, just exclude that from the model. If the non-tenant common spaces are large enough, they can be included in Savings by Design, also a program run by pg&e, but often in multifamily they're not, so they would just be removed, but we can pay incentives on the common spaces. So again, a lot of those are listed there on the screen. And before I guess go on, we did host a webinar on modeling of common spaces. So I know there's a lot of energy consultants on the call. So that was a couple of weeks ago now, and it should be on our YouTube page. If you have trouble finding it, contact us and we can get it. But we did do a webinar already on how to model the common spaces and kind of what's included. So there's more information there. So again, the Design Charrette, just an additional $5,000. So we just have to be known. You have to inform us. Like I said, it's just like scheduling any other meeting, but just include us as part of the project team. We'd like to participate. We won't be bossy or tell you what to do, of course, but we just want to help inform the design as much as we can and understand the project team and their constraints, and it just goes a long way to building a good working relationship. So great. And then we also have an online listing of energy consultants and HERS raters that are participating. So any developers on the call who are interested in participating, I would urge you to go to the website and you can see a list of consultants and raters that are participating, and many of which have participated in the past as well. So they're familiar with the program. It's a valuable resource, and it's valuable to have someone with experience. And what the resource on the website has is that we're ensuring that they have the certifications necessary to enroll in the project. So we check that up front before they go on. But many of them, they've worked with us for many years in the past. So the other to get listed, you have to attend the orientation webinar, which this is one of them. But this orientation webinar will also be on YouTube. And yeah, and then you'll be listed on the website. Any questions on that?
We did have one come in. I think they're asking about the design charrette. We have a 30-unit project and a 34-unit project that are almost ready to receive permits. Can we still have these reviewed for design considerations within the program? They're scheduled to start in November and December of this year.
Yes, the short answer is yes, I suppose. If they're not already enrolled in the program today, if they will be enrolling, of course, if they're still open to, there's still possibility to make changes to the design. And I know changes to the design kind of happen all the way through construction, but as long as the design team is open to making changes that improve the energy efficiency of the projects, then it's still a possibility anyway. I mean, we may want to talk about it further, but yes, we're still open to that. As long as we can influence the design still in some way and come out of that with a more efficient building, that's possible.
Okay. And someone asked, I think it was before you started talking about that other question, they asked, when is this going into effect? I'm not sure specifically what that was regarding. It might be the slide before.
So everything I'm talking about today is live right now. It's going on now. In general, CMFNH has been running for many years. It kind of resets itself every year, and it resets itself every code cycle. So this January, we're coming on a code cycle change and a program cycle change at the same time. But what I'm telling you about now is going on right now. We have room in the program through the end of the year to enroll new projects, and then we're completing projects that enrolled years ago right now, because the construction timeline is usually fairly long. So, if the design is still on the drawing board in some manner, since construction hasn't started, drywall hasn't been hung yet, you're still eligible to get in this program this year and get in the process. But you have up until about 3 years to finish. So you've got lots of time. As long as, and I know right now is the crunch time for getting projects in before the code cycle change. So I know there's a lot of activity out there. And this program pays you to learn how to get to the next code cycle, basically. The next code cycle is 28% more efficient for low-rise anyway. Well, yeah, for low-rise, let's just say it's 28%, but what happens in January, there's a 28% bump. Our program is 15%. So basically we help and pay for the learning curve to get halfway to the next code cycle. So now's a great time to participate because we know what the next code is. We can help maybe bring some of that into today's construction now, so pay for some of that before you have to just take the 30% step at the end of the year.
All right, those are all the questions for now.
Okay, we'll go on. Enrolling in the program, you have to complete an application. Send in all the information on the project, the Title 24s, the energy models. We'll do a plan review and work with us to just, the plan review is just making sure everything matches, the models match the plans, and making sure that the models demonstrate enough energy savings, right? And as long as all that happens, and we'll work with the design team along the way to, if it's possible to make that happen, to get the savings necessary, then it goes in and it's approved and it's, quote, enrolled in the program, and we reserve funding. And so the application can be found on the website, which is cmfnh.com. And it's just pictures just showing where it's at there. And if you click on that link and you will get the application that pops up. And it looks like that. And there's just information there that we want from the developer, some of the project details and the team, right? If you fill that out and get it into us, and that can be at the general email address, we will, someone will reach out to you just to help you through the process. So after we receive the application, then we just want to discuss the project and their goals, look for areas of improvement, maybe set up the design charrette if possible. We can estimate incentives for the project. So all that starts with an application, or all that starts with a phone call as well. If you just are curious, you want more information, give us a call or send us an email and somebody will call you back and walk you through more of the program and kind of what's really possible. We'd be happy to help in any way we can. So yeah, through kind of the application process, we'll just be looking for all the documents necessary that we need to review to enter it into the program. So some of those documents are, of course, the energy models. They can be an Energy Pro or CBEC. And then the energy model reports are the CF1Rs in PDF, or I guess it could be the Perf1Cs. We need a plan set showing enough information that we can verify what's in the energy models, and we need some proof that PG&E will actually be the utility servicing the building. And yes, in this program is for multifamily, both low-rise and high-rise, so both are welcome to participate. Yeah, so as long as you applied prior to December 31st, 2016, well, for those going in this program cycle, we really need the completed application by the middle of November, and that'll give us a little time to complete the plan review before the end of the year. So, yeah, I know things get busy toward the end of the code cycle, but try to get us to us as early as we can so we can make sure that we reserve the money for you. Any other questions?
Let's see. If one of the buildings does not reach above code but other ones do in the project, can those participate in the program?
Yes, we can exclude buildings that do not reach the minimum threshold.
Okay. We can give another minute in case someone's typing in a question.
Okay. Also, while we wait, I want to throw out there that if you're a design firm or a developer, we are able to do some lunch and learns at your firm, depending on location, and we'll see what we can set up. But if you would like, we can come and we can talk about CMFNH, and we can talk about the single-family program if you want. We can talk about the different incentive programs that are around. We can talk a little bit about some of the code changes that are coming up. I also teach a class on that. So if somebody's interested in just coming and kind of having us come to you and talk about the program and the code changes that are coming up, reach out to us and we'll see what we can do.
All right, it looks like we can move on.
Well, that is pretty much it. So,
okay.
No questions at this time, then here's our information, how to contact myself or Allison, or it's just the entry point into the program, basically. But feel free to give us a call, and we'll get back to you.
All right.
So unless any other questions, I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, and anyone can enter questions later or send them to our email, and we can follow up with you individually as well. Well, thanks everyone. We will get the slide deck and the recording out to you in the next day or two.
All right. Thank you, everyone.